Have you ever watched a fight sequence and thought to yourself, what makes this action great? The best action is the action which is focused, but no matter how massive your action sequences get, all action traces back to one form of conflict: two people engaging in a fight. But clearly this in itself is not enough. There is something at the core of great fight scenes which separates them from the bad ones. This trait is structure. Fights which are impersonal usually involve characters who are drones. The main character will tackle several at the same time and will usually knock them out or snap their necks quickly. This is impersonal action. It's quick, coordinated minimally, and there isn't any story backing it. But large-scale fights between two opponents can be just as impersonal as a fight with the drone character. And it doesn't just come down to the length of the fight. It's all about how the time is used and how you focus your fight. Think of a fight scene between two people as being a short film in itself. What can harm a movie is when the plot meanders and is filled with subplots which don't add to the story. What makes for a great film is when the plot is focused. Some of the best one-on-one fight scenes in movies can be broken into a 3-act structure, the same way that most movies are structured. The first act of a one-on-one fight scene is setting the stage. Just like the first act of a film, this part of the fight is the introduction of both characters and conflict. Usually this part of a fight is either dialogue heavy or nonchalant.
You seem a decent fellow. I hate to kill you.
You seem a decent fellow. I hate to die.
Both opponents size each other up, and the skills of the characters are established.
You move well.
But how's your footwork?
This will also establish the attitude of both characters, if they fight with honor, if they are massively skilled, or if they improvise. The second act is the confrontation stage where rising action occurs. Fanciness is usually thrown out the window in favor of both characters using their skills in a more focused manner. The action may be visceral as both characters fight with their raw skill, they could use devices to their advantage, or they could use the environment. This is also where the characters are developed beyond their surface level traits. You see if the characters fight fairly, if they cheat the fight, if they run, or if they stand their ground. What's crucial, however, is that the rising action continues to progress. If both characters hold themselves evenly in the fight, it will feel less like a fight and more like a dance. The best way to maintain rising action is to trade off the advantage characters hold over a scene. If the hero has too much of an advantage, the villain should gain an advantage by picking up a weapon, or perhaps by wounding the hero. But in spite of the disadvantages, it should always feel like both characters could win the fight. Otherwise, the resolution will feel one-sided. The third act is the crisis followed by falling action. This final part of the fight is especially short and typically features no dialogue. One character will either strike a killing blow, severely injure a character, eject a character from the fight, or the environment will de-escalate the conflict.
Gentlemen. Gentlemen.
This is also the perfect place for a massive reveal, such as the identity of one of the opponents, or a character trait which halts the fight.
You cheated.
Pirate.
And just like the end of a story, whatever ends the conflict of the fight must equate to something. The main character is grown, the villain is defeated, or the fight establishes further conflict which is soon to come. You can add anything you want with how you construct a fight scene. But just as it is with storytelling, action sequences cannot be random. They must follow clear and precise structure. And the best one-on-one fights are the ones which are focused. If you've ever wondered why Marvel movies often suffer with forgettable fights between the hero and villain, it's because the structure of many Marvel movie fights becomes convoluted with subplots. For instance, the ending of Ant-Man is an elongated fight between Scott Lang and Darren Cross. However, mid-conflict this fight is interrupted by the police, transitions to a new location, involves an overabundance of props, and is resolved through an insane feat of Kubrick-style science fiction by Scott. All of this makes the conflict between the characters unfocused and consequentially impersonal. Therefore, the structure is present, but convoluted. So the next time you watch a fight between two characters, think about the structure which is at play in the scene. Does the fight follow conventional 3-act structure, or does it make up its own structure? And if it's the latter, then how's that working out?